Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday night again. Can you believe it?
I'm here tonight.
Paul's with us tonight. Paul is a man down, though. He's a wounded soldier, guys.
Yeah.
We've got to be really gentle with him tonight. He's so thrilled he's not cutting or colouring hair. He's off work at the moment. He's signed off.
Yeah. I mean, no sudden movements. You can't make me laugh. I can't sneeze.
I've been trying to make him laugh all week, but he's been totally po-faced about it all.
Yeah. God, it's sore, but I think it's getting there.
He's got some new medication now. He's got nerve pain. So he's got nerve blocking medication, and he's having a result. Who have we got with us tonight? Tony Candy, good vibes. Lisa Lewis, evening everybody. Tony Candy, hi Lisa. Lisa Lewis, hi. You okay? How are you getting on? This is good. This is like a conversation, full on chat.
Yeah.
Debbie Hayward, hiya. Tony, hi. Angela, hi. Tony, hi. Angela, how's the back? Straight in with that. Bless. Karen J, hi everyone. Christos, hi gentlemen. I'm here. Paul, what happened to you? Was it a hairdressing accident? A long-term one, a long-term hairdressing accident.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll say hello to everybody, and I'll delve into it a little bit. Tonight's a Q&A, so if you want to know what is wrong with my back, I'll tell you.
We've got Ciao dalla vista, which is cool. Yeah, I like that. I don't know whether that's Italian. I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
But
Antonello, definitely.
Antonello, ciao della vista. Like it. My Italian accent's a bit...
Dutch.
Ahoy. 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 Hi, hoy.
Moi.
Cool.
Moi.
That's got to be some Dutch there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you got yo from Sarah.
Yo.
Cool. And hi from Sarah again.
Sup, yo.
And sup from Sarah. Sup, yo. Good stuff. Yeah, Paul, come on then. Tell them about the back, because they were missing you on Friday.
Yeah, I was watching. So the back is a long term. We were right. It was Dutch. Yeah, moi. Tell everybody what moi means. It's the only word I know. The back. So I was massive into the gym in 2019. I work 7 days a week, lockdown hit and it stopped everything. I couldn't go gym. I couldn't work. I couldn't travel. I couldn't do anything. I was just at home making YouTube videos is what I was doing. It came into April, sort of like 4 weeks after the lockdown. And I started running because I wanted to keep fit, and something twinged in my back. And I thought it was muscular because I've torn my hamstring in the past, and I thought it felt that sort of thing. And I was like, oh no, but at least we're in lockdown. Fast forward a year, I've been living with this pain for over a year. I can't believe it. I'm like stubborn and stupid. And it wasn't until the pain was like really increasing and getting worse and worse. And then last Thursday, my right leg just didn't feel right, and then I couldn't put any pressure on it while I was doing hair. So I did 3 clients, went to the doctors again, and he was concerned. Had an MRI scan, which is it said I've got a prolapsed disc and a bulging disc pushing on a nerve. And what's happened is the discs have obviously become damaged, and my back muscles have spasmed, which isn't good. I mean, I can sit here, feel them now, sort of like getting tighter and tighter, because all I'm doing at the minute is lying down. So now I was on naproxen as an anti-inflammatory. I was on cocodamol. Every drug is like knocking me out. So I have to, when I'm doing stuff like this, not take it. I will after. And now I'm on pregabalin, something like that, which is a nerve blocker. And it seems to be the one. So then I'm hoping on Friday I can go for a walk, and then I can start stretching.
There we go, guys. Now you know. Now you know where Paul was. He's been man down all week. I've been on the phone to him every day this week.
Yeah.
He's been down in the dumps. So let's be kind to him tonight. We've got Van de Gaar, who splashed out the old Dutch to us earlier. Said that he's got the same problem since the first lockdown. It's lumbago.
Right.
Yeah, bad times. So if you've got a bad back out there, Paul is sympathising with everybody at the moment.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hi. Hello. Where are we at? No, they're really good meds, Paul. They will do a good job. Now I'm in a pain clinic with ketamine shots against the pain every 3 months.
Wow.
Crikey. Ketamine shots. They sound like fun.
Yeah.
Tracy says, hi, hobuspobus. A considerable tale against running. Yes, good, well done.
Yeah.
My name is Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz. Debbie, hope you get well soon, Paul.
Thank you.
We all hope Paul is. It really worked. Yeah. I can imagine ketamine shots too.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, ketamine shots is the future then, Paul.
Yeah, if pre-gabbing doesn't work, I will be jumping on that needle.
Tranquilizers every few weeks.
God.
Good stuff, guys. Well, we are doing a Q&A tonight because we worked out so that we didn't end up doing the same thing back to back all the time. That, you know, what we'd do is Paul would do a haircut, I would do a color, we'd do a Q&A, I'll do the next haircut, and then Paul will do the next color, and then we'll do a Q&A, and that's how we'll work it from here on out. It saves someone doing the same thing twice, because obviously we both do both things, and we wanted to kind of keep it even. So here we are with our Q&A tonight. Now, we have got a topic in mind, something that has cropped up a lot recently. I'm gonna throw it to Paul in a minute, ask him a few questions. But before we get on with that, don't forget, last week we gave away the Gold Series Tongue by Hot Tools. Well done, Tony Candy, for that one.
Yeah.
So the next giveaway is this. That's wrong way around. Freestyle upgrade curling this thing. It's inside the box.
Yeah, it's so good as well. I love that.
Yeah, Paul's got one too. Curling, straightening contraption. Actually very useful. There's a review of it over on my The Life of Hair review channel. So do go and check that out. It's one of those tools that when you kind of first see it, you're like, it's a bit random, but when you use it, you're like, oh, I see the point now. I get it. So that's all good. So we'll be running the competition as of next Wednesday over on Paul's channel. So the same rules apply. It's that video or live stream that you need to comment on when it is not live. Just leave your comments down below in the comment section of that video, and we will do a random live draw in the comment section of that video. So it's pretty super simple to do.
We'll make it easier by when we do the community tab posts on both channels, we'll put the link to the video. So you click the link and then you comment.
Yeah, exactly that. You can comment as many times as you like. The more times you comment, the more likely you are to win, sort of, hopefully. I think it works like that. I'm not really sure. It still picks at random, but it just takes a random comment and picks it. You guys saw me draw it. So it's super fair and super easy to do. Anything else to mention? Yes, Paul. October. What's happening then?
There's an echo with me. No, there's not an
echo. I can't hear you echoing.
I'm just trying to hear it. No, there was an echo. Now there's not.
Paul, there's an echo, or is it just me? So
there is an echo.
Yes, there is hippopotamus. Oh, now we've lost him completely. Now there's no Paul. No echo, no Paul. Well, while he's fixing his audio, I'll tell you about October.
There we go.
You got it? All right, over to you then, Paul. What's happening in October, my friend?
I just took that mic out, but there's still an echo for some reason. I'm just going to make sure that is checked.
Go to camera, mic, and then audio, and then
cancellations ticked. So that's
All
weird.
right.
But yeah, October Salon International is happening again. Thankfully, the shows are happening. So we are going to do our meet and greet. We don't know what we're going to do yet. Like, that's up to you guys. Like, what we're gonna do. My mum's just coming. Hey, mum. So yeah, we'll do a meet and greet over the weekend of Salon International. If we do 2 days, if we do 1 day, what we're going to do, we could do it in and around Salon International, or we could do it just outside at, I don't know, a bar or something, just to meet everybody. So that's what we're thinking. Let us know if that's something you want us to do, and how you want us to do it, really.
Yes, exactly that. So can't remember the exact date. I think it's the 16th and the 17th. That's in my mind, but I don't think that's exactly right. But that we were looking to do. So yeah, we would love to meet some of you guys. I mean, some of you are obviously internationals, and if you're coming over for Salon International, then great. Obviously, hopefully, people will be able to travel a bit by then. But if not, then there will be other times and opportunities to meet you guys. But yeah, we get to talk to you each and every week, and we thought it'd be lovely to meet everyone. So yeah, we would love to hang out for the day somewhere around the Salon International space and get to meet some of you guys. We were kind of like maybe do a pop-up shop. We were kind of thinking about all sorts of different ideas. That probably wouldn't be that near to the Salon International space, so yeah, we will see. But that we have sort of bandied around a few ideas. We want to, make an event of it, really, as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, filming it. So if you guys want to be on some of our bit, because obviously we'll vlog it, or we'll do a little bit of a live maybe there, and like meeting you guys. So yeah, we'll be filming all weekend. So it'd be great to get you in our videos as well.
Yes, that would be cool too. Tony says, I don't drive. We'll just catch the train, Tony. Don't worry about it. Straight into, I don't know if you're coming north or south, but if you're coming south, straight into King's Cross or somewhere similar, and over to Indian Water, and then on to Salon International. Bob's your uncle. So it's in the Excel Centre, which is in pretty deep East London. It's not that difficult to get to. Huge events are held there. Can we have plenty of warning as to which day? Yes, you can have tons of warning. It's one train, well, I don't know where you are into London, one train and then a tube, Tony. So I mean, you might have to get, where is she?
Wales.
Ah, Tony's in Wales. Yeah, okay, cool. Then that's probably more than one train. I've done some teaching in Wales. It can be quite awkward, can't it? But hopefully it won't be too difficult for you to come and join us and say hi and hang out and actually get to meet you guys for real, which would be cool. But if it's not, then it will be another time. Paul and I have got loads of ambitious ideas, and we need to get Paul better first. But when his back's better, we will really start planning some. Love to come in, but it's probably too far. We will be going north. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We probably won't be this year. Now it might be this
Pro
year.
Hair Live. If Pro Hair Live happens, mate, that's Manchester. So
Pro Hair Live, yeah, that's true. Pro Hair Live in Manchester. We could go up there for the weekend and hang out there and say hi to some of you guys that live a bit further north. Might come down. Last time was was 1997. Well, I don't think it's worth going every year as a spectator, but if you leave it 15 years, it's usually better when you go back.
There's a couple of different brands there now.
Yeah, there's a few different brands now there. So yeah, I'm sure it's a long way to go for a lot of people. It's a long way to go for Paul and I, and for all intents and purposes. But it's a good central place to meet, and it's probably the first actual live event that we'll be on before then and now. But as we said previously, we're hoping to do some kind of dotting around the country and different places. So maybe it could be that we're in a town near you at some point next year, and we'll come and say hi. We want to do some live events, hire a pub or a small private venue and do a sort of live demo for the evening or whatever. So yeah, we've got lots of ideas. Please come up to Scotland. You're pretty much my hair idol, James. Oh, that's thank you,
Cool.
much appreciated. Well, we will. We are forever planning, Paul and I. We want to do so many things. Obviously, COVID holds us back a little, but there's Jess bringing the cup of tea in for Paul, nursing him well. Jess there with the massage oils and feeling that bulging disc.
I wish, mate. No, she's
Cool,
just coming
guys.
to watch.
Yeah. So listen, Salon has come down in size over the years. Yes, it has come down a lot in size. Yeah, it's nowhere near as big as it used to be.
I reckon
Lots
this
of brands. Say
this year, I reckon they'll pull out all the stops.
You reckon?
Because of last year. Well, because of everything we've had. It's going to be the first big show of the year, and I think. Well, yeah, don't quote me on it, but I think they'll try and make it big.
We're going to quote you on that now.
Okay.
Hi, Sanj. So today we were going to talk a little bit about color Q&A and bits and pieces, whichever direction you guys want to take it in. If you've got any questions for us, but one of the questions that's kind of popped up. Oh yeah, Lisa, look, you have to get Jess a cat. Yeah, Paul. Yeah,
she's.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's just. She heard. She just left the room, and then she heard
the cat. She heard the cat, and then she came back. Yeah, Jess, the cat's in the post. Don't worry.
She said her mum got a new cat the other day.
I'm going to buy Jess a cat for Christmas, Paul, and send it to you and not tell you. Oh, look at the cat. Why wouldn't you want one of those, Paul? Look at it.
He'll get bullied, mate. Well, the other cats around here.
I'm going to send Jess a cat for Christmas, Paul, and not tell you. So yes, Q&A. Right. So I was talking about pushing colours. We talked about rose gold, and it could be more raspberry, and it can be more coppery. So I was then seemingly inundated with different comments and questions about that specifically, and kind of trying to understand this kind of manipulation of color one way or another. So I was going to throw this one to Paul, and Paul can then throw it back to me. But here's a question for you, Paul. Like when you're creating, because Paul is brilliant at creating bespoke colors. He's got a class about it on Joico's Barista Artista, creating these fantastic coffee shades. And so basically, when you're thinking about creating colors, Paul, how do you, because I'm going to talk about how I think about it, but I'd like to hear it from you. If you've got like a base tone of, let's say, a level 7, and obviously you can push and pull that warm and cool. Yeah. When you're trying to create tones, what do you think about? What's your
underlying pigment is the main thing that I always check first. Desired result second, and then technically formulation as to what we're going to do to achieve the color, as to if we're going to encourage the warmth, if we're going to enhance the natural underlying pigment, depending on the developer levels we're going to use to push through it, or if we're going to try and neutralize against that. Again, it'll be looking at whether we need to pre-lighten first to get through those. Are we still on? Your camera's gone off, mate. As if we can achieve a cooler result. But if we are just going to be looking at bumping up bases, it would be like 10 volt, maybe 20 volt, depending on where we're going to be looking. But if you're looking at a 7, you're going to be looking at about an orange yellow, maybe an orange. But just let me know in the comments if we're still on, because the timer's still going down, but I can't see James. And my camera is quite soft tonight. I don't really know why. Just let us know in the comments if I am still here, because it says I'm in the show. I'm just seeing where James is. Yes, you're on, Paul. Thank you, Tony. So, yeah, I'll continue to... Oh, he's gone. Still on, mate, but James is gone. Yeah, I know. Strange. So, yeah, James's question was about how I come up with colours. And one of the biggest things, I've spoke about it before, is that I like to take inspiration from different areas. The most recent being sort of like coffee colours, toffee colours, mushroom, like organic sort of colours. I'm looking at leather as to try and create some really sort of matte finishes. I think that'd be quite interesting to try and figure out how to create. I know a lot of people want shine, and I'm not saying don't encourage the shine, but something to create like a real sort of matte, flat level, but still looks really shiny and healthy. So that's something that I'm working on at the minute. And after the Barista Artista course, where I was formulating for coffee colours, people wanted to know about sort of cocktails, and I've got a course that I'm developing at the minute, which is how I would create sort of cocktail colours. So you've got porn star martini, which are like bright, luminous yellows. You've got espresso martini, where you've got that rich sort of brown, and it would be a bit more like Barista Artista, but maybe a little bit more vivid. But taking in cocktails into consideration, strawberry daiquiris, you'd be looking at that real sort of subdued red that some do, and you've got like the mojitos, which are like those clear but sort of like a bit of like a minty green colour running through. So that's a course that I'm working on at the minute. But if you guys want to throw any questions at me, throw them at me, and I will answer them while we're waiting for James to jump back on. But also, I had some little things I was just saying to James that we need to talk about as well, which were colour world as well. I want to create a pastel neon coral. I have neon yellow. Do you think that mixed with coral would work? How do you create neons? Is that James? Just messaged me. His laptop died. He forgot to plug it in. So hopefully he'll be back on in a minute. How do you create neons, or do you have to buy it ready-made? Yeah, I mean, you can't create neons without neon. So you've got like all the neon colours, which are neon greens, pinks, yellow. And if you want to create a neon coral, you could mix neon yellow and neon pink. The neon yellow would soften the sort of like the neon pink and create more like a coral. So that'd be quite nice. If you do it, let me know. But yeah, any questions, guys, just throw it in. But I was just going to talk to you about Colour World. So Colour World is on the 27th of this month. So I'm actually live there. They're not. It's normally like a live event, and they're like thousands of people come and go every day. But this year, because of COVID, they're filming it. So it's going to be on a live Colour World TV channel. I don't know where yet, but when I know, I'll share it. But on the 27th, I'm going to be doing a live colour. It's either going to be a full blonde, icy bob, which is going to look, or it's going to be a technique I used similar to Barista Artista, where I use these 3 fingers. I pull a section out, 3 fingers in, split out. But I'm going to be backcombing as well to create a bit more softness, and the sections are going to be smaller than what they were on there. But how do you tackle full head grey cover, but also add multi-tones? Great question. So what I would do is I would put the fulls in first to create. It depends if you're doing balayage sort of dimension, or if you're going to the root. I'll answer both. So if you're doing full dimension through the hair from root to tip, put your fulls in first, come up with different placements, and then I would do a full head grey coverage. Here he is, he's back.
I'm on my phone.
Hello, mate.
How are you? My laptop's like dead.
My camera's really soft tonight. I don't really know what. I don't know if it's the heat, if it's like steaming up the camera. And then the other one would be I would do the roots to cover the grey, and then I would put the sort of balayage dimension in between. But in between that, I would be colouring as well for full head grey coverage, and then toning with whatever you wanted to achieve. But there was some swearing in James's house. I bet there was. Could you recommend neutralisers? What brands? Could you recommend neutralisers? What brands? Neutralisers in neutralising colour, or is that perming? Just Saj, just let us know in the comments if we want to neutralisers in a perm, or if neutralisers, what brands? because if you're talking about colour, it all depends on underlying pigment. So if you're working on it on a red underlying pigment, you're going to need green, whatever brand you use. If you're going to work on an orange, we need blue, whatever brand. And if you're working on yellow, we need violet, and vice versa. So it's just a colour wheel. If you've got a colour wheel in the back of your shade chart, have a look there, and whatever's opposite, that is what neutralises. So do you think mixing neon yellow with normal coral won't work well? I think it would work. I just don't think you have the real punchiness of the neon you're going for, because you haven't got the neon in coral. Coral's quite a soft colour. Neon yellow will definitely dilute it and add a bit of sort of that neon vibrancy. But I think if anything, because you want the sort of like the saturation of colour, it would be better getting like a neon pink and then watering that down with a neon yellow to create a neon coral.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, watering it down is a good idea. Making it softer.
So Saj says colours. So I hope that helps, Saj. Just let me know in the comments if what I just said there helped.
That when you're neutralising, it's a shame my computer's dead, because I could show you a thing, because we had it up on to share with you all. But yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter what brand you're using. It's something that I talk about all the time. It's not brand relevant. It's not brand relevant. It's just down to, at the end of the day, is the product that you're using the right tone for neutralizing? Because the color's not owned by the brand owns the product or formulate the product. So if you try and stop thinking about it as a brand and think about it as a pure color, it makes an enormous amount of difference to how you perceive color going forward. So Paul was dead right. Think about what's opposite it on the color wheel. If my computer is actually genuinely not dead, which it seems like it is right now, when it comes back on, I'll load it back up, and I'll show you some color additives. It's the same. It's just putting in that opposing tone. So for instance, as Paul just said, if you're neutralizing red, green, if you're neutralizing blue, orange, if you're neutralizing orange, blue, it's just the opposite on the color wheel will be. So the additives, some brands have got better additives than others. Some brands additives are a bit weak, and they don't offer a broad enough range. All you really need is red, yellow, and blue. But the amount of brands that don't offer red, yellow, and blue is unbelievable, because you can create whatever you want out of red, yellow, and blue. There's no specific. What about Joico, Paul, in terms of additives into any of their ranges?
Well, you can always use. Additives. Yeah, I suppose we have actually. We've got INB. We've got INV. We've got INS. So INV is intense violet. INS is intensity silver. ING is intensity gold. So we've got those additives that you can make it punchier. You can use it to neutralise. That's it, really.
Karen J says, what steps and colour would you use to go from bleach blonde to level 7? So at 3 shades darker, Karen, you don't have to pre-fill. It's when you're going more than 3 shades darker that you have to pre-fill. So you could just go straight in with your level 7. What you do need to remember is that if it's bleach blonde and it's yellow and you're using an ash color, it can look a bit sludgy and a bit green. So putting a little bit of gold in there to help support the development of that color and not and stopping it going green. So like a natural gold color to prevent it from going green is always a good option. Do you have any hot tips, Paul, for going from 10 to 7 in one hit?
Yeah, one hit. Joico DDs. They've already got pre-fill built in. So exactly what James was saying, you don't want to be putting like a 7N on top of bleach, because you're going to go green. You're going to go khaki, depending if it's green base or blue base. But our Joico double dimension colours, they have an inbuilt pre-fill color deposit, and then they deposit the color, desired color, after that, and it's all in 20 minutes, which is just unbelievable. So, like depositing, say, 3 colors in at one time out of one bowl to achieve your desired look is just unreal.
Nice. Like it. I mean, anything, to be honest, you know, like when you're in the salon or when you're doing someone's hair, I'm all up for convenience, you know, because realistically, there's enough to do running your column, you know, making a living. So if there's a product out there, like Paul's just saying, like with the DDs, if you can use it to reduce the time and the stress and the strain of going, you know, 3 shades darker or without needing to pre-pig, amen. You know, but if you haven't got a product like that and you can't get hold of a product like that, then just remember that you can use your N, you know, 7N, natural, neutral, 0, 0.0, whatever it is, and then just put splash of gold in it, and you will then obviously neutralize any unwanted green tones there. So so Sanchez, color kickers. I mean, color kickers is just the name of a brand. Redken call their Shades EQ additives color kickers. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of, you know, L'Oreal, Schwarzkopf, lots of companies have color kickers or tone additives. There isn't, I wouldn't honestly say there's one better than the other. I genuinely wouldn't. I haven't used one that I thought is particularly stand out in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, there are lots of choices, like there are lots of color brands, so it's a little bit trial and error. What suits my taste in color might not suit yours, but you know, it also depends what you're using those color kickers for. So if you're using them to neutralize, like you were mentioning, you know, European hair brands, you know, tend to be cooler, tend to be green end based, and so therefore you get more cooling from them to start with, and so therefore you're adding in kind of more cool tones, you're going to get better cool results. It depends on also the hair you're trying to color. And the other thing then is if you're using those kickers to brighten things up and make things warmer and redder and oranger or whatever, you can also, you know, utilize the natural pigment in the hair to help assist your brighter shades, as Paul mentioned earlier, really about, you know, picking the right shade. Lisa Lewis, what bleach powder do you recommend, Paul?
Well, obviously, I'm Joico, but I've used many bleaches in the past. But to me, bleach is bleach. I know there's a lot of different technology that goes into them, and that's what companies say. There's creams, there's powders, there's non-dust, there's ones with a plex in, there's ones without plexes in. To me, bleach is bleach. To be honest, we want it to do one job and one job only, and that's to lift through hair. And then that's where it gives us the blank canvas, and then we can work with our colouring, our toning, or anything like that. Really.
Yeah, 100%. That was the answer I was going to give. I have used. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've heard me say before, some of you guys, that, you know, I go out and buy all sorts of things. You know, if I go to the wholesalers, I come out there, you know, 200 quid lighter, because I can't help myself. I want to try everything. You know, I want to know, is what I'm using the best product, and if it isn't, then, you know, complain to whoever I'm working for. There's better products out there. You know, but I've used a lot of bleaches. I know there's like 9-level lift bleaches out there. They're brilliant. You know, new onto the market. 8-level bleaches as well. You know, most blue powder bleaches is 6 levels. You know, or traditional blue powder bleaches, 6 levels of lift guarantee. The only thing I'd say about these 9 levels and 8 levels and 7-level bleaches is that no matter what you say about the process of decolorizing hair, whether you're offering, you know, 9-level, all you're offering is something that is more alkaline, more damaging than something that lifts 6 levels or 7 levels. So always bear that in mind. I know they're like the buzz thing at the moment, aren't they? You know, these kind of 6 levels of lift, 7, 8, 9 levels of lift bleaches. It's the buzz thing to do, isn't it? You know, lift the crap out of it. But you do need to be really careful. And what you then seem to find is people using lower peroxides, which is a good thing, you know, to a great degree. If you can use a lower peroxide and lift it slower, you will and get the same result. You will get better conditioned hair.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Tony, go for it, Paul. We're on Tony. I can't highlight any. Oh, yes, I can.
If anyone's interested, there's a page on the yeah, my cap highlights were in gold because my Sally head was really dark, and Sally heads are overly processed and not the greatest hair, a lot of them. So
if you want a good head that's cheap, so go send me a DM somewhere, anywhere on the internet, and I'll send you a link to really good cheap heads because I used them. I bought non-dust today. It came with toner, says Tony. Cool.
Huh?
If you have to pre-fill, what would you use? Great question, Karen.
Yeah.
So on a level 7, everybody, tell me what the undertone of a level 7 is. And this is a really good point to talk about and think about bending colors. So on a level 7, what is the undertone? I'll look out for the answers coming in, and then once a few come in, I'll come back to this question. In the meantime, let's do a few more.
Do you ever leave blonde untoned?
Do
you ever leave blonde untoned?
Who said that?
Oh, where's Lee? Lee Stafford's in the house. Hello, mate.
Lee Stafford. Hello, my friend. Orange, Debbie. Good stuff. Like it. So, exactly that. Orange, Rebecca. Love it, love it, love it. So, when we are looking at the undertone, it will all depend on our end result. Okay, so let's pin the question back up. It will all depend on our end result. So if your end result was warm, then pre-filling with copper is fine. Fill your boots, orange, whatever. But let's say you don't want a warm end result and you're pre-filling the hair. What can you do? Well, then you need to go one shade lighter, one shade brighter, or one shade, you know, less intense. So then you'd be left with like 7G as your pre-fill onto your bleach blonde hair. And then you could neutralize that afterwards much more easily than you could if you went in
on 7.
Bang on, yeah. If you went in with that copper tone, like, you know. So, you know, the DDs Paul's got there, but if you didn't have the DDs in stock, Paul, and you were going to pre-fill on level 7, you wanted a neutral European level 7 end result, what would you do?
Yeah, well, that's just what I was just going to offer as a one that is like a go-to. I'll do a 7NG because that's what I have in Joico, the NGs. I don't just have golds, but I'll add a little bit of either NC or just a little bit of CC, but only a drop, just to make my gold that a little bit more orangey,
Punchy.
I suppose. Punchy, mate. Punchy. So yeah, that's my go-to really. And we talk about level 7 because level 7 seems to be that really nice brown level that's just, it looks stunning, and it's that really nice brown. It looks good. So yeah, get into a level 7. That's my go-to. An NG, a G, with a little drop of either natural copper or CC, just a tiny drop, just to give you that really good sort of base.
Like it. And if you think about it as well, guys, when you're obviously wanting to put warmth back in, but you don't want to shoehorn yourself into not being able to neutralize, you can always warm it up, but it's really hard sometimes to cool it down.
Yeah.
So avoid turning it orange. Go with your G as your fill on a level 8. And then if it's not warm enough, when you're eventually putting in your final shade, use that level 7 gold, copper gold color
Yeah.
to go on top of that. It makes life so much easier. Do you ever leave blonde untoned? Not these days, no. If I rolled the clock back and not very far, there would have been certain circumstances I probably would have gone untoned.
Mate, technology just wasn't here, was it, years
No,
ago?
no.
And I mean, this is a big thing for me. We get a lot of people in the salon when they come to us as a new client, and we're giving them a blonding service, and they say, "What's this on my head at the minute? I'm sitting here for 20 minutes, although we've got express toners now for 5 minutes, which are great, but we're sitting here for 20 minutes. What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, we're toning." Like when we spoke about in a consultation, we're going to be lifting, we're going to be toning, but then we're going to be doing this. Oh, right. It's like, oh, what? Have you never had a toner? And they go, no, never. And it shocked me because it's not just about the end result being the colour that they want and not just a raw blonde. It's about putting back in the strength and like just putting back in that health into the hair and restructuring it, which is part of what the toners do.
Well, that's it, isn't it? As well, I think that some people sometimes lose sight of, what benefits the toning colours have in them. For instance,
Yeah,
you use Enjoyco. You've got your arginine 4-protein, complex that
yeah,
adds back in the natural keratin back into the hair, which is, fantastic.
yeah,
Redkin's pH is 6.8 and brings down the pH of the hair, closing the cuticles, adding strength back in. So, it's there's lots and lots of fantastic benefits to toning, not just kind of fixing that raw bleached look, but also smoothing the cuticle and making the hair feel amazing.
yeah. Because a lot of people, just touch on that one more time, James.
Good, yeah.
Is some people say, "Oh, I want that sort of Barbie-esque sort of golden blonde," which is fine. We can do that with toners. But
Yeah.
what James just said, it's the smoothness, it's the reconstructing of the hair that we're actually doing post removing everything from the hair. We're actually stripping the hair of everything to remove the melanin, and we need to put it back in at some point. And if we did a post treatment, sort of like say a Plex treatment or the 4-step treatment or a real deep reconstructor, we can. But a lot of people say, "Oh no, I'm leaving it raw because they want that golden blonde." I would suggest going in with a real customized golden blonde.
No, great. I mean, it's a great point. Like one of my favorite combinations for those beautiful golden blondes is a GV or something similar to that, dependent on how warm your base is initially.
I loved the GIs, gold iridescence in Redken.
Yes, GI's beautiful shade, the iridescent, that bluey violety kind of shade. Really beautiful colors to do. So but having that, even though you want to go warm, really controlling and anchoring the warmth with something that's a little bit violet is a really, really helpful thing to do. So yeah, always if I'm cooling hair down, I'll add a little bit of gold in or something just to kind of prevent it from going too deep and too sludgy. But equally, if I'm keeping something warm, I'll also put a little bit of violet in reverse. So think of it in a ratio terms. You've got 40 grams of color in the bowl. 35 grams of it will be your target shade, gold. But then 5 grams will just be a violet, just to make sure that we don't kind of go too gold, and it looks brassy and weird. Christos says, if a client comes in with comes to be allergic during the hair dyeing process, with serious symptoms, what is the best way to deal with it? Well, the best way to deal with it, Christos, is to get them an ambulance and get the product off as fast as possible. I mean, if you're doing skin tests prior to an appointment, then it's unlikely that you'll leave yourself in that situation. It's not unheard of, but it's unlikely. And, it would be an ambulance would be the best thing you can do. I mean, giving them Piriton and antihistamines and stuff, paramedics wouldn't appreciate that. They want, to be, I mean, it might help if an ambulance is going to be a little while to get there. You know, if you've got it in stock. But if you give, I know from like an insurance perspective here in the UK, if you give people medications, you're not
He used to
covered.
give someone a plaster.
Yeah, you're not covered for that.
Nah.
So an ambulance is going to be the best port of call there.
Yeah.
If it's you know, if it's saving their life, Piriton might, you know, if it, you know, then I don't think anyone would, you know, if it's a life or death situation, then a bit of, you know, antihistamine, but you know, you would be very unfortunate if you'd done you know, skin test. And it's actually Tony Candy's put 24 hours. All manufacturers and all color patch testing companies recommend 48 hours now prior to a color. Just a random bit of information for everybody. So yeah, try and get that 48 hours before. I mean, most skin tests last 6 months to a year, dependent on your manufacturer's guidelines, dependent on your insurance company's guidelines. In fact, I'll tell you what we should do. We should bring on Debbie Digby onto the chat one day, Paul. I don't know if you know Debbie.
Yeah, she called me in lockdown when I did my rent a chair video.
Did she?
And I felt bad because she wanted me to go on her Clubhouse to talk about it.
Yeah.
But Android wasn't supported. So I tried to get an iPhone. Oh, you know I did. All that time I was trying to go, but I just didn't. And then she seen me on it, and I thought, oh God, I should have sort of said. But yeah, hey ho, it's so busy. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. You can't do it all, can you? Try your best.
Nah.
But well, Debbie Digby, for anybody who doesn't know, is a wealth of knowledge in the legalities of this insurance side of business in the hairdressing world. So and just business in general in the hairdressing world. So yeah, we'll see if Debbie will come on and give everybody the lowdown on you know, best insurance practices and skin testing policy and all that jazz, because she has got a wealth of knowledge on that specific subject. We could go on about it, but it'd be good to have the professional telling you. I like Schwarzkopf Blonde Me. Yeah, it's good stuff. Schwarzkopf Blonde Me. I've tried it many times, or I've bought it many times to use for fun. 6% is amazing, in my opinion, and your opinion is perfectly valid. Hippopotamus. Yeah. It is a wonderful product. I mean, you know, there's not many really bad products out there these days. So Jenny Candy, okay, thanks. That was probably from earlier because we're a bit further down. Lee Stafford, we saw that one ping up, but hi Lee, if you're still with us, good to have you with us. That would be great. Every time I've bought a cheap head, they have been terrible. Yeah, they're not even that expensive, these heads, and they do a pretty good job. So
but yeah, some are poor, some are like the density of them and everything is just terrible.
They're shocking. So Lisa Lewis has said hi Lee. Your dad said hi Lee. Hello Paul's dad. How's you? Pre-fill. Do you use permanent, semi, or other? Well, when you're pre-filling, Karen, don't ever use a permanent. And it's just for one simple fact that if you're going over previously pre-lightened hair with a permanent colour, you're effectively rebleaching the hair. Because when we mix a peroxide with a tint that is alkaline, we create simple bleach. And simple bleach is going to rebleach the hair and therefore damage it further. So you want the least alkaline product that you can get your hands on. So whether that be a true semi to stain the hair with, or a demi-permanent, semi-permanent colour, those are the best options. Also, when you're using a demi or a semi, or a quasi, if you're from America, if you're using a demi or a quasi, they are a combination of permanent pigments that require oxygen to activate, and semi-permanent pigments that do not require oxygen to activate. That's what quasi or demi-permanent means. But they're also lower in alkalinity than a permanent hair color, and therefore much better for the condition. Hopefully that helps. Look at this guy's name. Look, dick pants.
That's what he said is a quote from Zohan. Have you seen Zohan?
Yeah, but I can't remember it. It was so many years since I've seen Zohan.
All I want is to cut hair and make people silky smooth.
Love it, love it, love it. You can come back, dick pants.
Hi,
Mozama. Hi, Mozama. Thanks for joining us. Oh, can you tell what brands you use? Yep, I use Redkin.
Yeah, I use Joico.
Joico. The joy of co. Good stuff. Sorry, guys. I didn't catch up from the last 2 weeks as I'm not well. I'm a surgery next week. Oh, Mozama. Rubbish. Well, listen, we wish you all the best. Paul's been man down too. So,
it's happening to a lot of us.
It's happening to the best of them, not just a lot of them, the best.
Yeah. Stay strong.
Yeah, stay strong, Mozama. Our thoughts are with you. So we hope you get well soon. I know loads of people are in surgery at the moment.
Hopefully not me. Hopefully not me.
Hopefully not Paul. Hopefully not Paul. Hippopotamos, if you're going to use direct dye fantasy color, does that count as a toner, or would you pre-tone in that case? That is a great question, and the answer is depends how you're going to use it. It's
either,
color.
yeah.
It's either. It's color at the end of the day. So Paul, what would you say, mate? What would be your answer to that one?
Yeah, so let's talk about pre-toning. If I was going for pastels, if I was going for silvers, anything along those lines, I would pre-tone. So I'd remove all the yellow. If I was going for something which was heavily pigmented, like blues and coppers or purples, magentas, I wouldn't pre-tone. You wouldn't really need to be honest. You've just got to understand again. Let's go back to the underlying pigment. If we're left with yellow hair because we haven't pre-toned it to a white, and then we put blue on it, but what's going to happen with the blue and the yellow? You're going to create green. And that's the stuff you've got to really take into account when you're pre-lifting for these fantasy colours. Underlying pigment plays a massive part in the higher levels, or the brighter colours, or the counteracting colours. So if we're left with a yellow and we put violet over it all, which is basically using like a silver shampoo, you're probably going to get a little bit more neutralising than actual vibrancy of the colour. So if I was to try and get a real, again, punchy violet, I would probably pre-tone with a violet to remove all the yellow, and then I'd go in with the purple because that would make it really, really vivid, I would say. I was going to say, but yeah, vivid.
I don't know why, Paul, but every time you do that, I've just got this vision of you in a wife beater with a Stella. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, Saturday nights, mate.
Saturday nights. With a wife beater on or a Stella in your hand, but just got this vision.
I don't drink anymore, mate.
You don't drink anymore?
Not really.
No, you know what? I went for years not drinking, not at all, and then lockdown number 3, I started drinking again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us, mate.
But now it's like it's just moderate. It's casual.
Just 6.
It's just 6 cans a night. No, it's not. But no, it was Bailey's that got me back drinking.
Was it?
Yeah, Bailey's in coffee.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah. What a
7 a.m. wake up call, is it?
Of heroes, mate. You know what had happened, right? When I plugged my laptop into the power tonight,
yeah.
There's a cable. I don't even know where it's come from. There's a cable hanging down behind the shelf that had blocked the 3 pins from going into the wall. So my laptop was never actually plugged in, which is absolutely 11 out of 10. So that is why my computer died. So anyway, back to that. I think Paul answered that one pretty succinctly.
Kaoru, Shimura.
Kaoru.
What's about using the perm fixing solution instead of 6-fold peroxide for toning? I've heard from many hairdressers that it's toning without changing the natural hair. What the reality? I don't know what that is.
I know exactly what you're saying, but I've never, ever heard of anybody doing that, I can see how that works, because I mean,
What is that?
So it's using the perm solution.
So
Perm
using
fix,
perm
the
solution,
alkaline, the acid
fixing.
phase of a perm pull.
Oh right. So this is about not toning, but using that to correct the hair basically.
Oh no! Instead of 6-vol peroxide for
Oh
toning.
right.
So
Oh
it
right.
could, yeah. So it would be, but it would be you'd be better off using a 1.8 or something like that,
Yeah.
or a 3%, than you would using a acid perm solution.
I've never heard of that.
I haven't heard of it either, but it makes logical sense, in the sense that it's the fixing phase, so it's acidic. All
Yeah.
peroxides are acidic, so on and so forth. But you wouldn't be able to guarantee the color result if something went wrong.
Yeah.
No insurance company or color house in the world would back you up on that one.
No.
So I've said this a million times, guys. Stick to the rules.
Yeah.
Follow
Yeah.
the manufacturer's guidelines as best as possible, because if you don't, your insurance isn't valid. Blah blah blah. You can just leave yourself with all sorts of mysterious hair scenarios that are just. So yeah, try it on a piece of hair that you're not going to put on someone's head.
Yeah.
Just that curiosity.
I mean, timing of that, I wouldn't even know what to assess timing wise, because you've got the developers that are match made in heaven for colours, and they're formulated so perfectly that you've got a timing. I wouldn't really know with that. It'd be by eye, I suppose. But
Yeah.
would the pigment in the colour oxidate quicker, more? I don't know. But yeah, I've never heard of it. But interesting.
Good stuff. Yeah. Lisa Lewis, not even a
Oh
plaster.
yeah, that
Health and
was
safety gone crazy. Yeah, that's
well.
right.
That's the thing. That was like some of my team. We have got plasters in, but the insurance we can't offer people fabric plasters in case they're allergic.
Yep. And they fall over and die from allergy to a plaster.
Yeah, plasticytis it's called.
Plasticytis.
No, I made that up.
Mozama says, thanks, I will. Good, Mozama. We love it. Tracy 3. Any suggestions for my 15-year-old? He is suffering with alopecia.
Oh.
Poor chap. Oh, bless him. It's heartbreaking. A dermatologist gave us a few solutions, but it will make his scalp sore and flaky. Oh, Tracy. Well, listen, my heart goes out to you and your son. Try a trichologist rather than a dermatologist. I don't personally feel qualified to. I don't have any good solutions. If I had a good solution, I would be more than willing to share it with you. Try a trichologist. A scalp specialist is probably my premium advice in this particular scenario. Yeah, and I truly hope you get a solution to it fast, and it's not ongoing.
One thing I see just the other day, actually, the men's hair systems. Someone was doing a video on this, and they were talking about bringing it in for ladies, and a lady was really suffering with alopecia, and they put a hair system on her, and it was just on the patches. If there's patches, if there's a lot of it, they can cover it all. But what that is just like a glue or tape solution. This is a quick fix to add hair to the places, just to make it non-traceable really. But yeah, trichologist, and then if it's to a point where, saying it's heartbreaking, it is. But for a quick fix, have a look at men's hair systems, and you can speak to them as well, because I don't think that would affect if you were to see a trichologist about getting to the root of the issue. But that would be a quick way to add hair to make it sort of like invisible.
Yeah, more bearable in the meantime. Yeah. I don't know where you are, Tracy, but if you send Paul or I a message on Instagram, I'm at the Life of Hair One. Paul is Paul What's
Pop,
Hair.
pop them on the bottom, mate.
Yeah,
On
I
the
will.
little ticker.
I can't at the moment because I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay.
But in a minute, I might have enough charge in my laptop to do that. But
I can do it on here.
you can do it. Cool. So we've got friends that do hair
no.
systems. You can just put it in the comments, Paul.
Yeah.
We've got friends that do hair systems up and down the country, so hopefully there'll be one nearby, and hopefully that will offer a bit of light relief for your 15-year-old. So yeah, sorry we can't be more helpful than that. Sorry, I'm impolite. You're not impolite, Kaoru. Don't worry about it.
One thing we want to do, guys, while you're all in here, I've just noticed, can we get our likes on the video up to 20? We're currently on 10. Just go down and just click the like button. See if you get up to 20. Sorry.
Oh, Paul's playing online gambling again. He doesn't drink. Right. He's just taking up gambling.
Is yours The Life of Hair?
It's just The Life of Hair One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hippopotamus said, I meant in terms of what were you saying about smoothing the cuticle? Yes, well, I think we got about smoothing the cuticle because it's obviously acidic and it closes the cuticle, etc. Oh, yeah, okay. So you meant putting perm solution onto the hair, perm finishing solution onto the hair to close the cuticle. Yeah, it would close the cuticle. It would close the cuticle a bit like these new Lamelliere water products, or it would close the cuticle a bit like 4-Step from Joico. It would close the cuticle. Anything that's highly acidic will close the cuticle, basically. Right then, we've got a few more questions. Elbow. Oh, here we go. Gary's with us. Hi, Gary. Evening all. A bit late to the game, I'm afraid. No worries, my friend. You came. That's the reality. Better late than never. Oh, $14 on the super chat from Tracy 3. Thank you, Tracy. Very kind of you. $14.99. Very, very kind. Good stuff. That's my first ever super chat for anybody. So Tracy, you've gone down in history. You've gone down in history as my first ever super chat. Elbow cough from Tony. I'm not sure what that's for.
Nah.
Paul, do you have a filter on your camera, Paul? He's got a beauty filter on tonight, Pia.
No. It looks really. Am I really foggy? I feel
it's hazy.
Yeah, I haven't got. It's just basically my laptop as normal.
He's lying, guys. He's lying. He's got a beauty filter. He told me before he came on air.
I wish. Can we do that? If we can do that, I want
that. I was also surprised and quite skeptical. Thank you. Cool. Mozama, natural level 5 hair can go 2 shades lighter if we can use 30 vol with permanent color. Yes. I mean, you can go 2 shades lighter with 20 vol. That is more than achievable. So it depends on the color you're using as well, Mozama. So if I'm lifting hair and I want to guarantee the levels of lift from, so let's say we've got a level 5, we're going to level 7. Quite often I'll use a shade lighter, but what you do lose is the tonal value. So I would use a level 8 to get to the maximum kind of levels of lift to guarantee that I got, because there's nothing worse than lifting hair with tint and not getting the lightness. I would rather overlift it and tone it back if I have to, than not get the lift. So I would always go in with a level 8 on the corrective tone of a level 7. So we would use 8.1 or 8 ash or whatever, and then that would then correct the tone that I'm lifting to, hopefully. But lifting hair with tint, I love lifting hair with tint, and I spend a lot of my day lifting hair with tint. But you always have to bear in mind, you may not get the neutralizing power when you lift hair. I mean, someone like Lisa Loves Balayage, for instance, will tell you all day long that you cannot lift and tone simultaneously. There is no such thing. You can lift the hair with tint, but you know, to get a cool end result, you need to then tone the hair again after the lifting process. And to a certain degree, I do agree with her. To get a cool end result using tint, you won't do it. But if you want a neutral to warm, so like an NG kind of result or a GB kind of result, then yeah, you can do it. But you know, you've got to be it's one of those things that you know, I always aim to go a little bit higher with my lift, so hopefully that helps. Tracy 3, we have been to a dermatologist, endocrinologist, and his regular doctor. He started at Thanksgiving bad, then it started to come back, and now it's come back full force. Tough
really
age
tough
to deal with it. Yeah, that is rubbish. Being a teenager and having anything that is not in any way, shape, or form the norm is so tricky. Well, endocrinologist. You've tried a lot of options, clearly, Tracy. Try and find a trichologist. I don't know where you are. Obviously, please contact Paul or I or both. You're obviously stateside. We do know people in the States as well. So we will do our best to help you. That is what we will do. We do know people who might know people who might be able to help in some way or shape or form. Let me see. We've got Tracy here again. He used to have a full head full. He used to have a full head of hair, thankfully, but it's still hard. Thank you very much. We are in the US. Appreciate it so much. No worries. No, no, I meant, does direct dye also smooth the cuticles as a toner? No, not generally. Not all of them are acidic, is the reality of direct dye. Some are, most aren't. Depends what they're based on.
Just a conditioner, really.
Yeah, if they're based on a conditioner, quite often they are. But if they're not based on a conditioner, they're more like a food coloring style, or they're gel based, and they're probably not as smoothing. And they definitely don't have that technology to fill, you know, the porous areas on the hair. Thank you so much. I didn't think it would hurt to ask. I am in the US, but any help is appreciated.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, isn't it?
We will do anything and everything we can. Tracy's laughing at making history. Yay, foggy.
I'm a bit foggy.
Oh, right. Yay, okay. I thought
the beauty filter. I mean, the beauty filter.
It's the heat. I can see you've been chatting away. It's a smoke machine. Tracy, maybe you can check out a hair toppers for your son. In the meantime, I think they're good ones nowadays. Yeah, that's what Paul was talking about with the hair systems. There's so many good hair systems around now.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can find someone good near you. Gabsy, is it true that the power of the lift is really the color? Used peroxide is acidic and brings the pH down. Hair color is alkaline, which also which allows for lift. That is exactly right, Gabsy. The alkaline is what does the lifting. Peroxide brings down some of the alkalinity from the fact that it's acidic, but without the alkaline, you don't get any lift. End of story. Super simple. Some people say that the lift is in the tube or the lift is in the tint, and they're absolutely bang on. Cool. Normally stress related. I think that's to do with the alopecia question. How do you tackle hot roots? Paul, go for it.
I did a video. Well, I did a reaction video, 2 reaction videos to it last week, actually. Hot Roots. This girl was platinum mid-lengths and ends. So this relates to tonight, actually, as well. Her mid-lengths and ends were platinum blonde. She was a natural, probably level 8 ash, and she was going to use an 8.0 box dye to bring it all together. And if you watch the video, I basically predict what's going to happen at the very beginning. And when we get to the end of the video, I'll do a sort of like I told you so. And then she did it again at the end of the video. She said, "Oh, I think I'm going to colour it again." And she used a high she used a high lift colour, like it was like a 1001 or something like that, Garnier Nutrice thing. And again, I predicted what was going to happen. But yeah, she had Hot Roots. And how do you stop it professionally? Is you basically understand the underlying pigment. You diagnose or consult the actual level of the pre-coloured hair, which you're sort of trying to match up. If it's all virgin hair, you would then do a virgin application where you would start mid-lengths and ends, and then you could work up into the root. Or you could use different developers. You could use like a softer developer at the root and a stronger developer mid-lengths and ends. That is, in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, we'll go and watch Paul's video, and then he'll show you how to. So when was that published, Paul? Just to be.
Well, it was last Wednesday and the Wednesday before. So the last two. So yeah, last 2 Wednesdays. In between, there was my men's haircut video. So in between the men's haircut video, there's part 1, part 2, all about this colour, Hot Roots.
There we go. Closed by Carly. Yay, I made it. Well done. Good stuff. We haven't seen you for a while. Couleur says, you look a bit tired, Paul.
It's the meds.
It's the
medication.
He's on medication, Couleur. She wasn't here at the beginning, so she missed the story about your back.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm on loads of different medication at the minute for my back, and yeah, it is just making me so tired.
Cream crackered. What are your 3 go-to toners for level 8 underlying pigment? On a level 8 underlying pigment. What are your? So do you mean, like, just so we can clarify, put it in the comments a bit further down, Carly. What are your 3 go-to toners on a level 8 underlying pigment? So do you mean the natural pigment at a level 8, yellow orange? Is that what you mean, or do you mean to neutralize that level? Just let us know, and we'll answer that. Tony Candy, yes, I bought some semi-permanent and had some shampoo and conditioner. In it, you applied it to wet hair, and the shampoo it didn't last long on my grey.
Nah.
No, I mean, it just depends, doesn't it? Sometimes you get these additive, shampoo and conditioner style colours, don't penetrate deep enough to cover grey, or last very long. Do you guys own your salons? So what are your top 3 pieces of advice? I'm so happy I made it. Always appreciate our videos. Well, I don't own a salon. Paul has owned many salons, so Paul is your man here. So what's your top 3 pieces of advice, Paul, if you want to be as a salon owner?
God, top 3. Yeah, so I mean, over, I think it was like 7 or 8 years, I opened 6 salons. But bits of advice is get a great team to support you. Make sure, so that's number 1, just make sure you get a great team, recruit very well. Number 2 is education being your core of your business. That's the core of mine, to make sure that we invest in the team and education, make sure everybody is where they want to be. And I was going to say location, but location isn't a thing anymore. That was a thing for me when I started opening them, but not anymore, not with how things are now. So my 3rd bit of advice would be, God, get a good accountant.
That's a good piece of advice. Gabsy says, why do manufacturers always say 20 volume will give you 1 or 2 levels of lift, and 30 volume 2 or 3? This can be confusing and trick people into thinking the developer does lifting. That's right. It's about the amount of oxygen, and it's about the time frame, Gabsy. So they're talking about 1 or 2 levels of lift within the development time of the manufacturer's recommendation.
Yeah.
The reality is that if you leave tint on or any color all the time that the ammonia is still active, it will continue to lift. So you could exceed the manufacturer's development time and continue to get lift, but as long as the product didn't dry out. If it's got ammonia in it, ammonia's got like a fuse, if you like, on it, and it does stop working after a certain amount of time. So it is confusing, I agree with you, but alkaline products make the hair lift. Jess is in the house.
Hello, Jess. But just jumping back to, sorry, mate, carry on, and I'll jump back to the question.
Go back. I was just saying hello to Jess.
Oh, hey, Jess. James is buying you a cat. So, and with it, so with this, the rule of thumb is 10 volt, with that whole thing of where they say it does the lifting, what James was saying about the amount of time that is given for the product to be active. So I don't know if you know this. I'm only giving you this if you don't know this. So 10 volt will lift or activate for 10 minutes. Then you've got depositing for 20 minutes after. You've got 20 volt, which will activate for 20 minutes and then deposit for 20 minutes. 30 volt will activate for 30 minutes, deposit for 20 minutes, and 40 volt will activate for 40 minutes. He's gone again. And oh, he's back. And
back on my
you're on a computer now.
On my computer.
And deposit for 20 minutes. So if you look at it that way, you've got your developer, which is basically an activator, activating that ammonia and that colour for a period of time, and then it deposits.
Like that information. Good stuff. Jess, the cat will be in the post on Christmas Day. I bleached and left it raw. I just used Olaplex mask with direct dye as a tone. Now I'm thinking in the future I'll do a proper toner. That was very interesting, as always. Good stuff. Thank you very much. We're coming up to the end of this live because we are running out of questions, which is great because Paul said, can we do 90 minutes? Can we do 45 minutes or an hour? And we've done an hour and a quarter. Sorry, Paul. But there's been lots of questions.
It's been great.
It's been a good one. So Carly, caused by Carly, says, yes, yellow, orange. So that was the question that said, what are your 3 favorite toners on the underlying pigment on a level 8? What are your 3 favorite, Paul?
What are your 3 go-to toners for underlying pigment at level 8? Depends if I'm going dark. If I want to stay around about the same level, I would be using a 7SB, which is a silver blue, to put like a sort of a smoky finish to it. If I'm going for a natural, I would go in with an NWB, 8 NWB. And if I was wanting to go, maybe just cool it off slightly, I would go in with a 8 NA with probably a little bit of 9 violet.
Like it. And personally, on a level 8, I really like 8 NB, natural beige.
Oh, mate, the NBs.
The NBs are killer. Love the NBs. I really like 8 BV, violet, blue violet by Reckon New Shade. Really powerful, really neutralizing on a level 8. If I'm looking to enhance, then I love a CG or a GC, gold, copper, gold, to enhance that level. So if I'm on level, if I'm utilizing undertone, a bit like you're saying here, I love level 8 coppers because they're not as intense as a level 7. They're softer and much more pretty to wear. Just personally, I think they look really nice on a lot more people than the really vibrant. I think you've got to have quite pale skin to have the vibrancy of a level 7. Great advice, Paul. Loved it. Thank you, Paul. Side note, James helped me with his video so much. I'll go back to full service salon, 9 years not doing color. I'm happy now doing color. Thank you, James. Wicked. That is great. Jesse's saying thanks for the cat. Thanks, Paul. Gabsy, thank you. If 40 volt activates for 40 minutes and deposits it for 20 minutes, it has more oxygen. Won't the product just die out quicker if stop lifting and depositing? Over to you, Paul.
No, because that's the formulation. So that's the recommended instructions by the manufacturer. If you've got 40 volt, which is active for 40 minutes, this is where a lot of people sort of go wrong. So when they're using high lifts, they leave it on for sort of like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes. And you're losing out on maybe the full deposit of the tone, 10 minutes of the tone, and you're not getting the full deposit of the color. So 40 volt will lift for 40 minutes or activate for 40 minutes, and then you must leave it on for another 20 minutes to get the full deposit of color, which is why when we look at demi colors, they're only on for 20 minutes because they're 5 volt or 1.9, 1.5, and there's no lifting. All they do is just deposit, which is why they're on for 20 minutes, which is the full deposit time. You add the 10 volt, 20 volt, 30 volt, 40 volt to it. That's the time in which the product is active for in minutes, and then you need to let it deposit for that final 20 minutes.
Like that information. It's good. Tony Candy, thanks again, guys. Hope your back gets better soon. Take care. All good night. Thank you, Tony. Sleep well. What we got here? Oh, this is Bradford Leonard. Bradford Leonard. That's a cool name. What's it like to be a male in a female-dominated industry? Was it intimidating? It was when I was. It was when I was little. It was a bit intimidating when I was a young, 16-year-old, but I soon got over it.
Easy.
It was easy to get over because I'm straight, but I don't know if it's because I'm straight. I just like being around women, so it was great. I think it was good as I got older for sure. Another great night, guys. Hope Paul feels better. What we got, Claire? Thank you for taking the time to answer all of our questions. It's our pleasure. That's why we're here. Thank you for joining us. That's the big thing. Many blessings. Keep the lives going. Love the positive vibes. Good stuff. Take care, James. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it both. Good stuff. Thank you. You're welcome. Gabsy, thank you again. Really enjoyed this session. Thank you very much, guys. As always, we will be here again next Wednesday over on Paul's channel. We won't be here again. We'll be on Paul's channel live. So go and check out Paul's channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, then make sure you subscribe. It's Paul Watts Hair. And we got a quick hello. We're just logging off, but join us next Wednesday on Paul's channel's Paul Watts Hair for another live hair coloring. You're coloring next, aren't you? Yeah.
No, it'll be on my channel, so I'll be comparing again. It's just because it will flip.
I'm cutting on Paul's channel.
Yeah.
This is the reason we did the Q&A in the middle. I still can't get my head around the schedule. We did the schedule 8 weeks ago, but I still can't get my head around it. But anyway, good stuff. And so I'll be cutting on Paul's channel next week. Some people ask for like a Purdy shape. We don't know what you want. Just tell us what you want. If you want a bowl cut, great for it. Go for it. Someone mentioned that quite a few times a few weeks ago. I said I'd be up for that. But if you don't want that, then let us know in our community post that we'll do tomorrow about what you want to see on the channel. We'll also repost the competition next Wednesday on Paul's channel. So for the to win the freestyles tool, which is a cool tool to have. So yes, we will look forward to seeing you all again next week. Look after yourself. Paul, thank you for being a guest on my channel this week, and I look forward to being on your channel again next week. Look after yourself, guys. Speak soon. See you on Sunday. Bye.